All right, guys, so check this out. Have you ever heard of Goldbelly? Okay, so it's this amazing site where you can order the most iconic, famous foods from restaurants all across the country, and they will ship it straight to your door. That's right, these guys will ship you Philly cheesesteaks from Jim's or Pat's in Philly, buffalo wings from the Anchor Bar in Buffalo, and even Kansas City's most legendary barbecue. So, if you're looking to host an epic Super Bowl party, go to goldbelly.com and get free shipping and 20% off your first order with promo code GAMEDAY.
Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Attack the Baseline, a WNBA podcast where every episode we attack our baseline knowledge of the WNBA. We're your hosts, John and Kristen Barber, and today we're back talking about Unrivaled's second weekend, a weekend full of crash outs. We're going to talk more player specific, I suppose, in this episode, as there are a lot of highlights to go through and an interesting comment made by one Natasha Cloud, so stay tuned for that. But before we get into all of it, Kristen, how are you?
I'm good. I'm getting excited for our trip down to Miami.
Cannot wait.
We're going on Friday, so the next games that Unrivaled plays will be there.
Mm-hmm.
Look for us.
Yes, keep an eye out for us. Mm-hmm. We'll be there. If you're going to be down there, say hey, let us know. Send us an email, attackthebaseline@gmail.com. Send us a message on Bluesky, Instagram, TikTok, ATBPod. Leave us a 5-star rating and tell us that you're down there joining us in Miami. Tell your friends and family to tell us if you're down there in Miami. And yeah, I think it's going to be an excellent time. I'm so excited. We're currently staring at snow here in Philadelphia, and planning around the potential of a foot of snow coming down while we're supposed to fly back from Miami. So it's kind of crazy right now in the Barber household.
Like
just planning accordingly.
Yeah, like planning on we might get stuck down there.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't be mad about it. Being there, I wouldn't be mad.
Right.
But I really want to be like cozy looking out the window at a snow day.
Yes. So let's kind of hope that the snow pushes into Sunday evening, but I don't know the likelihood of that according to the weather models, but who knows?
We'll see.
Weather's temperamental, but very much looking forward to being down in Miami for like a 60-degree difference compared to where we are now. So nice and warm.
Who are you hoping that we run into?
Oh, who am I hoping that we just randomly run into? I haven't thought about that. Maybe like Brittany Sykes. I think I'm pretty excited to maybe see Brittany Sykes.
Because you would actually like say hi.
Yeah, I feel like, she's definitely one of the most personable players down there. And I think one that wouldn't be like annoyed if somebody was just randomly saying hey. She always seems affable, especially in like all of her sideline interviews. I don't know, something about that kind of temperament I'm like makes me not worried to say hello if we do come across Slim. So yeah, I'm kind of crossing my fingers for Slim. How about you?
Okay. Someone we didn't see last time, I'm thinking. Like, obviously I would love to see Kelsey Plum.
That would be cool.
Am I saying hi to Kelsey Plum? No.
Her aura is going to knock you out.
I'm not doing that. I don't know. Maybe like Sony, Kiki or Sony.
Kiki or Sony would be cool.
Yeah, I would say hi to them.
Yeah, I mean, Paige too. I was like, maybe Paige, but like, honestly, that might be the same thing as KP. I might just get knocked out by the aura. I don't know. I don't know. We didn't see Leash last year, so maybe we'll see Leash.
No, we didn't see Leash.
We'll see. Looking forward to it. So excited. But let's talk about what happened this weekend in Unrivaled. Another 4-game slate where we saw the Laces as the only team to win both of their games. We saw the Rose, who were undefeated after week 1, lose 2. And then we saw the other 6 teams split 1-1. So it was a very balanced week, I would say, of games with a lot of good from a lot of different players. But I think the place that I want to start today is a comment that was made by Natasha Cloud that I alluded to in the intro. Do you have her specific quote?
No, I don't have the specific quote, but I can summarize it.
Okay, yeah. Then just summarize for me. What did Tosh say that I thought was a pretty impactful quote just the other day?
Yeah, well, she basically was like, there's been no movement in conversations with the WNBA. We don't have any like other progress so far. So if nothing ends up happening with that, then Unrivaled is very equipped to continue playing into the summer. They own the building that they play in, so they can stay as long as they want. Basically, the players have equity in the league. So, like, if the players say they want to play, then basically that's the league saying, okay, that they want to play. So as long as they can, keep their housing in Miami or find other housing, like, they can keep playing all summer.
So when she said this the other day, I was kind of thinking about, what does that look like? Is that Unrivaled season 3? Is that a special, like, offshoot Unrivaled summer session? Would we expand rosters? I'm not expecting at all 0% that they would add teams unless it was like temporary teams. We're adding 2 or 4 more temporary teams. But then I got to thinking about how the news comes out about Sabrina Ionescu was not available to play in Unrivaled this season because of an injury that she sustained at the end of the W season. And it made me think that, like, well, if the W season was going to go by, Sab's not just going to sit around and not play basketball. Like, she would have to come back, you would think, for Unrivaled. And I guess there's, a chance that certain players that are playing now in Unrivaled could just say, I'm going to pass. But, like, I kind of think that anyone that's playing now would be locked in. And I kind of think that just you would invite more.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine they would want most people to stay. I think most of them would want to. I think some players could go overseas and start training for the World Cup that's happening in September?
Yeah, early
August
September.
Or September. So like Alana, Ezzy, they could leave.
Sure. Your Australians could definitely go.
And then, like, along with Sabrina, I would think there's a bunch of other players who would then, like, kind of start feeling left out. Like, maybe even Athletes Unlimited, like, does another season.
That's a really good point. Maybe we're looking at this 3 weeks from now when Athletes Unlimited is getting started, and there's another player in Athletes Unlimited saying very similar things that Tosh said. And, like, we could just do this again. I mean, they'd have to just rent the space again. It's not like they own the building like they do with Unrivaled, which is a good point that Tosh made. But yeah, I could definitely see where we play a different format to make sure that, especially that middle class of WNBA players, has an opportunity to play competitive ball in a time where there aren't many options. And maybe going back to the Unrivaled thing, if you were to lose, some of the Australian national players, maybe that's the amount of slots that you need to bring back Sabrina and, another body or two. So yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it is just Unrivaled in AU playing in the summer, and that's your 3-on-3 and your 5-on-5. And eventually, if the league and the players can get to an agreement, then they just say, all right, drop it and head on back to your cities and let's get back to some W.
I mean, I would love to see, like, someone like Asia come and play if she's not doing anything over the summer. But I don't know if she wants to play 3-on-3.
No, that's a thing.
So, yeah, it's like kind of impossible, honestly, for Unrivaled to do a 5-on-5.
Right.
Because there's just not space for it.
Yeah,
like,
the
you
building's
need
not
a
big
much
enough.
bigger court, and you can't fit that. Plus stands, like, no, it wouldn't fit.
Right.
The building's very small. So that's kind of impossible. But I like the idea of Athletes Unlimited continuing as a 5-on-5.
Yeah. Just like another, like, you can just go month by month, maybe.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then like, okay, all right, league, we're going to be done in, July 31st. And then you can have us August 1st, whatever, to do training camp or whatever. I'm just projecting a potential schedule. Who the heck knows?
That is so annoying to me, though. Like, you don't want them to just be like at the beck and call of the league.
Right.
Where they are playing in the summer, having a good time. And then all of a sudden the league says, okay, we come back in 2 weeks now. We decided to cave a little. No, like, I'll just keep doing what I want to do.
But that's the crux of this whole thing. Like, if we're looking into a future where there is no agreement until the summer, let's say in the middle of the summer they agree on a thing, then they got to do the expansion draft, then they got to do free agency.
I know. So, like, how late is too late?
How late is too late to start the season? I think is a
Yeah.
really good point. Because, like, I kind of feel like if it's like August and you reach an agreement,
Well, yeah,
like,
that's too late.
you're not really going to start,
Yeah.
which is crazy to think about. And then you just got to wait until, and then you're feeding into the next season of Unrivaled at that point.
Right. Miami all year round.
Miami all year round. But yeah, I mean,
It's just like the league just has to wake up, because these players, even 5 years ago, there was nowhere else for them to go in the summer, basically. But now there is. And people are tuning into Unrivaled and they're getting media deals. So they don't need the league as much as they did before.
yeah, shouldn't even put this out there, but like the bizarro future of like, yeah, we're going to do another season of Unrivaled in the summer and then Project B somehow gets their hands on enough players. That would be scary. That would be scary, especially because they were supposed to start in November and we've heard zero more news about them as well. So I don't feel good about that starting
Well,
on time.
The only thing I really heard about Project B is other reporters saying they would not be surprised if it doesn't start.
Exactly.
Like, starting eventually, but not starting in November when they say.
Right. They think more like 27.
It did come out. They announced that they're going to Tokyo in April.
In April.
So the end.
Right. April of 27.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So we've got that as a bullet point on the calendar. We also have Chicago All-Star as a permanent bullet on the thing. They did that this week. They did the launch, the like pep rally.
They did?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
I didn't see that.
Yep. Dwayne Wade was there talking, and the governor of Illinois. And I'm like, okay, yep, surely we're going to have All-Star on time. Exactly when you're expecting it. It is just weird to have these like calendar items that are so not guaranteed, but like that's kind of all we have to go off of. So I know it's a bunch of thought. It's just a thought activity at times, but we're just going to.
It's not like doomer. Like it's great to hear the players saying we have other options and we'll be fine.
Yeah.
So
we've got a TV contract. So TNT can work something out.
yeah,
Yeah.
they can stay on HBO Max.
True. Yeah. I'm sure Alex Bazel can cook something up and Fee and Stewie. But all this to say, continue to beat the drum of pay the players what they're asking for, and let's get it done and then not have to worry about it. Another
Maybe
idea?
something Unrivaled could do if they want to still be under the umbrella of Unrivaled, but the players want to go back to playing 5-on-5. Because something else that was interesting is Skylar Diggins was on the broadcast one of these days this weekend, and she was like, it's just harder getting back in the swing of 3-on-3. Like, your body just naturally wants to play 5-on-5.
Right.
So if enough players say that they want to go back to playing 5-on-5 in the summer, maybe Unrivaled could do a tour, like they're coming to Philly.
Yeah.
And just play some 5-on-5 games in arenas around the country. Obviously, that'd be like
logistically difficult.
Paying fees for spaces and stuff.
Yeah.
But maybe they like do more tour stops like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's certainly possible.
Because the main point is we own the building so we can be here. But
I mean, it's weird because they're like giving money to the NBA because or the owners that own the thing. Mm-hmm. But I mean, the summer is when they're playing and the NBA's off. Mm-hmm. And hockey's not playing.
I mean, they're not going to want to be back in their arena.
No.
I wouldn't want them to do that either. Mm-mm. So maybe not. I don't know.
No, but it's an interesting... I mean, you could always do colleges. They could go play colleges. Mm-hmm. Like, that's a possibility. But it's an interesting point to do a little touring situation. I just don't even know how you capture any of the statistics. Like, what is it called? I don't know.
It would just be an offshoot, its own thing.
Yeah, that's cool. It's cool to think about that existing, but I also simultaneously don't want it to have to exist. But again, not doomer. It's an option for the players. Pay them. Let's get it done, and let's do the deal. Mm-hmm.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today. O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Nobody does selling better than Shopify. Shopify is the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret, with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts go abandoned and way more sales going through. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. On the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout that Skims uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period for 3 months at shopify.com/Westwood1, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Westwood1 to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
Matt Money Smith here from Believe in Chargers, talking to you about the Game Time app. What is it? Tickets. I like going to sporting events, right? And there's nothing I hate more than hitting checkout and bang, my cost has gone up by 20%. That is not going to happen with Game Time. First of all, you get 100% legitimate tickets at the best price. That is the Game Time guarantee. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, they're going to credit you 110% of the difference. On top of that, they've got zone deals. That means when you choose a section and you let Game Time choose the seats, you can get a discount that way. Seat views, panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy, and they have that lowest price guarantee. What you see is what you pay. So use our code BELIEVE. That's BLEAV. $20 off your first purchase. Again, download the Game Time app. Create an account. Use the code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account. Redeem the code BLEAV for $20 off.
Let's talk about the games. Let's talk about what we saw, players who stood out to us this week. A couple monster games again. Scoring just continues to be up from what we saw last season. Constant 30 pieces all over the place. There wasn't another 40 piece this week. So De'Erica Hamby still holds the high score in the league, but Chelsea Gray was doing her thing and Paige was doing her thing. Where do you want to start?
Well, we don't have to go day by day, but I'm just looking at this first game that was between the Laces and the Phantom. And you mentioned Brittany Sykes. She had an incredible weekend, I think.
One of my MVP candidates.
Yeah.
I really still think that's the case.
Like getting the starting spot. And I did think about this more, that I do really like having Jordan Canada come off the bench with Naz Hillman because they already played together in Atlanta. So that makes sense to me. But Slim, like she just is so energetic. She's so smooth in, you know, everything she's doing on both ends of the court. She had the game-winning 3-point shot in this game. That was off of a really like ballsy shot. Aaliyah Boston was running right at her to try to block the basket, but Alyssa Thomas had a really good screen. So, like, I think Brittany Sykes, she's just playing awesome right now. Like, really dependable, really reliable.
Yeah. Like, the shot looks better than I remember it. It really does. Like, I'm assuming she worked on her craft and has improved her shot. But, you know, listener, if you say that, oh, it looks the same as it always has, like, please feel free to send us an email and let me know. But, like, it looks like she's improved in a number of ways. And, you know, she's 31, so she's very much in her prime. And this is the kind of energy that I love seeing in Unrivaled, especially when we didn't see it from her necessarily most of the time in season 1, that now she's like absolutely thriving. After leaving the championship rows to join this Laces team, she's very much the reason that I feel like this Laces team is now the cream of the crop. It was the Rose last week, but I feel like the energy that I'm seeing out of the Laces is more consistent. I mean, the Rose were winning those games because Chelsea Gray was understandably so going demon mode.
But the Laces, it really is. So many of them are playing great.
Yes.
Like Jackie had an incredible week. She had 35 points in the second game. Alyssa Thomas is just like being very reliable. She had a bit of a crash out in our crash out weekend. When she was like being called for a foul she didn't agree with. And it's just so funny, like seeing their coach, Andrew Wade, being so straight faced and chill when he's like, why did she get a technical? Like any other coach would be screaming at the refs, but he's like,
He's so mellow.
Yeah. But like, I think that helps.
I do think so too.
Calm them down. Yeah, I'm really so happy with my Laces.
Yeah, you said the other night that you're back in.
I mean, yeah, if they're 4-1, I have to be.
Look, I've got an analog for that later on in the show when we talk about the Owls. But just to stay on the Laces real quick, Jackie Young, I'm so glad that she is healthy right now. I just kind of want to comment on the health of the league as a whole. It's really only Ari McDonald right now dealing with injury. Otherwise, we're seeing these rosters full night in, night out, which is wonderful because I feel like at this point last season, 5 or 6 games in, we were already seeing some major injury blows, some hamstrings, some ankles. Like, we're fortunately seeing the players understand through experience how to play better in this 3-on-3 format, and it's giving us better product. I'm glad that Jackie Young is the healthiest that I can really remember her in the last 3 years that I've watched her ball, and that's why she's giving us 35-point dominant performances. And she's very much another part of the reason why I think the Laces are at the top of the table now, just because she's so do everything.
And I think especially in the game against the Rose, it was really interesting watching Jackie and Chelsea play against each other. Because a couple times it was like Chelsea tried one of her fancy passes or like a little spin move, but Jackie knows what she's doing. And Jackie was able to stop her and like throw Chelsea off a little bit. And I think that was a huge reason that the Laces won.
Well, I don't think anybody's going to know how to play against Chelsea better than Jackie.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. It works out. It works out that way. Okay, then staying on the topic of, you know, injuries and basically the continued health of the league, we saw 2 players return from their early preseason into the first weekend injuries in Kalia Copper and Skylar Diggins. And you talked about Skylar a couple minutes ago, about her mentioning that you don't have the opportunity to, rev it up and go to the corner on offense. Like, you are one pass away when you're back in on 3-on-3. It's not like returning to 5-on-5. And interestingly enough, we see the Rose start Ka right away, and we see the Owls play Sky off of the bench. Now, 2 different situations. The Rose had an interesting week where they lost 2 games after being 3-0 without Ka. Certainly not going to put any of that blame on Ka, because she has scored. She's scoring the ball at a decent clip, but naturally the team has to adjust to, okay, we need to remember how to play with Ka, because and fortunately for 3 of them, they played with her last year. So I don't think the ramp up is going to take that long.
I think, are we talking about Ka right now?
Yeah, let's talk Ka.
I think Ka had to get back into it.
Big time.
I think she had a really rough 2 games.
Well, she had 21 in the second game, but her first game was definitely not up to par.
Her first game, she had 11 points. It's not bad. She was 1 for 3 from 3. She missed 2 free throws, which would have been 4 points. And they only lost by 3.
Right. So
she missed a bunch of layups. Like, to me, unfortunately, like, I'm very sad saying, I do think Ka was like really too rusty to start. And I think she played 15 minutes. I think she played too many minutes in this first game.
Possibly.
And I think that cost them against the Hive.
Right. Against the Hive.
Yes.
Who, we'll talk about in a sec. But yeah, it's the difference. The difference is a little bit of rust there affects how the Rose have played to start the season. Now, the flip side of that coin, who I brought up, Skylar, the Owls were so lacking, and I mentioned this last week, in having a proper point guard, that bringing Skylar back into the fold, running a little pick and roll, having a quality passer, ends up paying dividends for them this week. They end up beating the Vinyl in decent fashion. They were pretty much out front for the bulk of the end of that game. And I thought to myself, like, maybe the Vinyl are sleeping a little bit. They saw 0-4 Owls. We can kind of cruise through this one and not really worry about it. But when you have a player like Skylar, who was so good in season 1, hit so many game winners, was so pivotal on that Owls team, only losing 1 game, when you have her mentality back on the court, she's going to change the scope of that team. Do I think the Owls are going to be a playoff team? I don't. Do I think the Owls are going to win more than 1 game? I do. And they don't have any other reinforcements coming now, but I think just the presence of Skylar speaks volumes, and to hear her speak on the broadcast and understand what it takes to come back and be good just gives me at least another boost. I felt some pride saying hooty hoo after that big win against the Vinyl. And it was nice to see that for the Owls.
Yeah. Incredible that they got their first win. Who knew when that was going to come? But it was a really good game against the Vinyl. We have a lot to say. I have a lot to say about the Vinyl, but at least, like, on the Lunar Owl side, Marina had 31 points. She had 4 crash outs.
She's up to 4 crash outs.
Oh, total.
She had 2 crash outs in that game. She had 2 earlier, but that was a big game as far as the crash out counter is concerned.
Yeah. It was, we got a little fight
between her and Court.
That was kind of fun. But altogether, Skylar Diggins is just able to facilitate the team so much better.
Yeah.
So, yeah, huge that Skylar came back. I don't know total how many games they are going to win. How many games do they even play?
They've played 5 so far. They play
total.
14. Well, they probably play more now this year. They played 14 last year.
Mm-hmm.
Or did they play 13 and then a playoff game? I don't remember for sure. It's somewhere in that neighborhood. 14 to 16 games.
Mm-hmm. Maybe they win 4 games, 5 games.
Okay, that's probably a little high. I have them at 3 or 4.
3, okay.
Mm-hmm. Because I still don't see where it's not going to be easy for them just because they won now.
Rebecca Allen was playing better.
Yeah.
She had 10 points.
Yeah, and she had most of them in that second quarter, if I recall. She hit a couple threes back to back, made a couple consistent layups. I think that Rebecca Allen is a player that just needed to get more comfortable in the format. Still not really seeing it from Rachel Bannum, but who knows? Well, maybe she's going to have a game where she has 7 threes. And Marina is still just like, I'm going to shoot anytime that I want to. She's still not afraid to shoot 12 threes in a game. And if 6 of them are going to go in, then you at least give your team a shot. And there's a reason that she's at the top of the scoring leaderboards, because she is being, taking those shots and most of the time making them, I'll say. Pivoting off of the Owls, where do you want to go next? You want to talk Breeze or Hive?
I guess we mentioned the Hive, so we can talk about the Hive.
Sure. Owls get their first win. Hive get their first win.
Yes. Congrats to them. It was all Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell had an incredible game.
Led the way.
She had 24 points, but points are very spread out. All over 12 for everyone except for Natasha Heidemann. And I think she is just so frustrated with herself.
Big time.
Big time. Like, and that makes me sad. But you can tell she's like kind of throwing the ball at the floor, like when she gets called for a foul or like misses a basket. Yeah, she's very frustrated. At one point in this game, T had the ball at the 3-point line and like no one even moved. No one came to defend her at all. And she missed it.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh, she's really in a slump.
Yeah, it's a bummer to see for sure. And of course it's also equally annoying to hear Sarah and Brendan on the call say the only player to return from the Hive to return for season 2 of Unrivaled that's on the Hive is Natasha Heinemann. And it's certainly not translating in the like veteran presence at this point. She could be very much a veteran presence on the bench, don't get me wrong, but it's not, showing itself on the box score or in the games. There was the video with her and Court Nazare about her playing time, and I sure hope that better opportunities present themselves for her to play more after she finds her shot. But yeah, for the time being, it's going to be this Hive team finding their 3-point shot. I feel like they still consistently are missing on their threes outside of, probably that game.
They had 31% in this game.
No, and they're just not, they're getting up. I think the other game they were 2 for 12. So they've just been still consistently dreadful from beyond. And that's not who Sony is. That's not who Kelsey Mitchell is. So I'm expecting that to fall down. I'll bring up Sanaya Rivers. Sanaya Rivers, if we're talking threes, she made some threes that made me go, there it is. That's the one. If she can have that consistently in her bag, then she's the perfect 3-and-D player. If she can have a consistent 35 to 37% 3-point shot that looks good, and it looked good this week, then I think Sanaya Rivers could be a contender for most improved when we're talking about next year's W season, because she is really going to get better. I do think that she's has one of the stronger work ethics of anybody in the league that makes it known about what her work ethic is. Writing to her mom before games, always having that passion, that drive that gets her on the court and performing at the level that she does, even if she's a bench player in this case. I'm loving what I'm seeing out of Sanaya, and I hope that that can continue into more Hive wins.
Yeah, absolutely.
Need parts fast? O'Reilly Auto Parts has fast. Need them now? We've got now. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. We're O'Reilly Fast. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Most people don't realize how much of their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions pulling details about you from public records and the internet, then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance, all backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it together at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/secure. Protect yourself now at aura.com/secure.
Nobody does selling better than Shopify. Shopify is the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret, with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts go abandoned and way more sales going through. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. On the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout that Skims uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period for 3 months at shopify.com/Westwood1, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Westwood1 to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
The other young team, we can go to the Breeze.
Yeah.
The fans, I think, were crashing out a bit this week about the Breeze.
You could say that.
Yeah. When they were losing to the Vinyl, there was lots of uproar and confusion. What is happening to my beloved Breeze?
They're not allowed to lose.
My Breeze babies.
Yes.
But I will tell you, Brittany Griner got the best of them.
Yeah, she did.
They still played this game on Saturday where they lost by 15 points to the Vinyl. It wasn't their best showing.
No.
Paige still played incredible. She had 25 points. Rakia and Dami both had 13. But I do think Dominique struggled a lot at the rim because Brittany Griner had so many more minutes than she had been having and was on Dominique this whole game.
Yeah.
And that's just like, I think it's such a good learning experience for Dominique, getting to figure out how to play around BG, because no one else really in the league is like so much taller than her or like bigger than her. Like you need someone who's bigger than you, who's going to challenge you so you get better. And so I'm really excited that Dominique is going to have more playing time against BG. But this game was a little rough in that instance for Dami. And then the Breeze in general are just playing down one person.
Right. You know, to echo your point on BG. BG was good and she was healthy in this game. And she reminds you that, yeah, when BG is on and they are feeding her, that she can do more damage than anybody else. And I think that's a really good point, what you said about Dami. And an interesting point is that, like, I think a player like Cam Brink would be a great player for her to play against, but she's on the same team as her.
Yeah, that's
so she
so
doesn't have
true.
the opportunity to do that outside of practice. Of course, they're going to practice against one another. But I do think that would be another player that could give Dom problems that she doesn't end up having to go against. The other bigs that she's going against in the league, and like De'Erica or Leah, are different types of bigs, whereas BG is that long, lanky big, similar to Cam. So,
but still like way strong.
Oh yeah. I think this whole thing is going to be huge learning opportunity for Dom, just like it is a huge learning opportunity for Sonia and Sanaya and for Paige, even though Paige looks like she's already an expert.
Insane.
Like she locked in the free throw challenge. She hit 12 or 13 free throws, did not miss. 13 for 13 from the line. The next challenger was Tiffany Hayes, who had made 100% of her free throws, but she only made 6. And then after that, it was Chelsea Gray, who had missed 1, but had made more. I think she made 14 out of 15. So it could have been Chelsea Gray with a $50,000 bag. But at the end of the day, Paige is the one who takes that home. And she was very funny about like, please do not foul me. I want to keep my 11 for 11. And she got fouled. She went to the line and she knocked down 2 in that game. But she's consistently that girl. Like she's just friggin' on. She's so on, and it's amazing. And she's the reason that the team is running on all cylinders. And that I don't know what else to really say about Paige, even though I barely said anything about her game. Her passing is on. Her shooting has been out of this world.
Yeah, she had some incredible baskets in the second game against the Mist. Like they had a very rough game, the first game this weekend, but the second game, they really turned it back on. Like I think that this team is so young. They have a lot to learn from. Basically, none of Kate and Rakia played in Unrivaled last year.
Right.
But like Cam didn't. None. Like
right. This
Paige
is an
didn't.
experience deficit.
Right. So they really this is such a learning curve for a lot of them. But I think they saw what happened in this game against the Vinyl and they learned. And this second game against the Mist was so much better.
They're adapting so quickly.
Yeah.
So quickly.
And they're able to do that, which is great. Yeah, Paige had 37 points in this game.
Yeah.
I was thinking that we were going to get another 40.
Felt like it. Sure felt like it.
Yeah. It's just, she's incredible.
Consistent greatness. Consistent greatness. Oh, let's go back to the Vinyl. I think we can give Rye some flowers. She had a game winner. Basically the only time where I feel okay about a game winner at the line was in the scenario where Ryan Howard won this game for the Vinyl this week, where she hits the 3, draws the foul on the 3, falling down, gets to the line, free throw, gives the team the win. On a night that Alicia Gray got a game winner for her club. So seeing Rye and Leash the same night get game winners, love that.
Big night.
But Rye has been one of the better 3-point shooters and one of the more dangerous 3-point shooters in the league so far. She's consistently looking for those shots, hunting those shots. And it's giving her some decently high point totals, leading her team effectively.
Yeah, well, I was looking at the point totals, and the Vinyl are just so variable in the amount of points that they score.
Well, they had 42 one game,
They are so
right?
hot or so cold.
Yeah.
I feel like. Yeah, the first game they had 42.
That is like an all-time low.
Yeah, awful. 42, and then the next game they had 67. It's like 26 more points, 25 more points. And then the next game they had 89.
Yeah.
It's like 25 more points.
Yep.
And then they had 81, and then they had 57.
They're on the roller coaster a little bit.
They really are. And like De'Erica had such a hot night last week. This week she had 8 points in the last game.
Right. Yeah. So like it didn't, and maybe that's partly because of increased BG playing time means less De'Erica playing time. She did score that 40 piece very quickly. But I think that the Vinyl are going to be one of the more inconsistent teams that we see this season based on the nature of this set. To go back to what you were saying, because we just talked about the Breeze and how the Vinyl beat the Breeze. I think that was the perfect example. And our friend of the pod, Jonathan, pointed out that like the Vinyl do have so much experience, so much strength. They're all really strong players. And that was where the matchup was tough for the Breeze. So I will commend the Vinyl that they can do that when they're at their best, but we haven't seen it on as consistently of a basis as we're seeing it for the Rose or for the Laces. So the Vinyls are kind of, the Vinyl is kind of always going to be hot and cold for me until I see some consistency in their game.
Yeah, but Courtney Williams, I think, had a much better night on Monday than she had been having.
Mid-range was on.
It definitely was. Much better. Let's go to the Phantom. We mentioned Tosh. She had an incredible game on Friday. Just so good on both sides of the floor. Aaliyah Boston didn't have a great game on Friday. To me, it just really stuck out how much she was fouling and kind of when she was fouling. She had 23 points. Obviously, that's good. She had 2 steals, 2 blocks. But she had 2 fouls in the first 2 minutes. So just getting in trouble right away.
Yeah.
And then she had 2 fouls in the fourth quarter where I think she lets the game kind of slip away from them. There was one possession where she was guarding Jackie Young against the Laces, and Jackie's going up for a layup. She gets it, but Aaliyah fouls her, so it's an and one. And I'm not saying let Jackie get the basket, but now she got 3 points instead of 2, and now the game's tied instead of you being in the lead.
Yeah,
because you
that
got
was a difference
this
maker.
Really bad foul. Exactly, and they only won by 1 point, the Laces.
Right.
So I think she has more learning to do. But she's getting great experience this year. Aaliyah Boston, she's playing much better than last year. Really, last year for Aaliyah Boston in Unrivaled was to me, she was very almost non-existent. She just didn't really pop in the games. She didn't really have many interviews or anything that popped to me last year. But this year, her scoring is up significantly. She has
basically every
stat.
Write
the points.
Basically every stat is up.
Last year she was scoring 5.9 points a game. This year 18.
Oh yeah.
Last year she had 5 rebounds. This year she has 8. Last year she had 0.6 assists. This year she has 2.8. So yeah, she's doing much better in every single stat. We kind of talked about how this is definitely impacted by Satu Sabali not being here. Kiki's there. She's not the only big, but she's getting the start over Kiki.
Right.
Where things would be different if Satu was also starting, which I imagine would be happening.
Yes.
So she's definitely growing a lot by being the one primary big in this starting lineup for the Phantom.
Right. And that's why you're seeing her stretch her game out a little bit. Shoot your threes because Satu would be shooting them. So we need to add a little bit more of that punch. Of course, KP's not going to shy away from shooting a ton of threes, and Tosh can shoot her fair share. But if Satu were here, things would be different. However, it's funny that we point out all these negatives of AB's game, but it is worth mentioning how much better she is
a lot
this year. So we shouldn't forget that she is vastly improved from what we saw in season 1 and is very much part of the reason why her team has been relatively consistent night in, night out. I think that, they have the possibility of challenging for the whole thing, especially if we do get Satu back at some point in time, because that's still kind of the outstanding major injury, I guess.
I don't know.
But Tiffany Hayes, is a very good quality vet and has been playing good ball. And we haven't given her enough flowers for stepping in and doing what she's been doing. But like the Phantom are just a pretty good team all around. And they need Aaliyah to be good for them to be good. So, you know, I think at the end of the day, certainly more good than bad for Aaliyah Boston and this squad. And that's why they're near the top. One other squad to talk about, missed a rougher week for them. I mean, they went 1-1, of course. Leash had her game winner, but that game that they lost the other night to the Phantom was certainly a product of a little bit of shooting inconsistency. Arike has been very good for the start of the season, but it showed, one of her tougher games where Arike can have a bad game, and that ended up kind of impacting a good bit of this team. If I recall, Veronica Burton was the only one with a positive plus minus in this game, which is kind of crazy because she didn't really do a lot of the scoring for this team. Veronica Burton has unfortunately not popped in the way that I was kind of hoping that she would.
She had 1 or 2 games where she really did, but yeah, this past weekend, I don't think so.
Pretty quiet for her.
I think she was getting really frustrated this weekend. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, I don't know, partly by herself, partly with herself, partly with the whole team. The Mist had some crash outs.
Yeah, she had a big. She had Alicia had a major crash out.
Had a big crash out. VB
had a crash out. Stewie's been pretty calm, cool. Stewie's looked pretty good. If we're, considering what Stewie largely struggled for most of season 1, she's pretty healthy, which is good. And
Lan joined the Alicia crash out.
Yes.
And was screaming at the refs with Alicia. So we love that teamwork.
Yes, a good clip of Lan arguing her point about someone throwing an elbow that went viral that I thought was pretty funny. Yeah, I mean, I think this team also is an upper tier team that has a chance to contend. But they need to be consistently figuring out their scoring. Lee, night in, night out can give you something really good or kind of just be lost in the crowd sometimes.
Yeah. She had 0.
Yeah.
Against the Breeze.
And I think Lan is sick. I think I heard somewhere that Lan was sick or is getting over a cold. So like that could be part of the reason why her game's been inconsistent, and it's mostly been the Leash and Stewie show. But I do still like this Miss team a lot. And I feel pretty good about them.
I really see them improving.
Yeah.
As the season goes on.
Okay, well, we talked through everything here like we did last week. Why don't you give me your temperature check? Who are your, top 3 right now in terms of MVP standings?
Maybe 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3.
Do 3, 2, 1.
I have to keep Chelsea on here just because she's just so consistently good. Her games obviously this week didn't go as everyone would have hoped for them to go, but
you're moving her down to 3 though?
For this week, I'm moving Chelsea down to 3. She had 2 losses.
Okay.
Can't have that.
Sure.
Chelsea 3.
Okay. Chelsea 3.
Second, I'll go Jackie.
Okay.
Jackie got the best of Chelsea this week, so
very fair.
Jackie, she had incredible games. And then I'll move Paige up to 1.
Okay. I have Chelsea in the 1 spot. I'm going to keep her there. She's still scoring unlike anybody else. And I think that I feel like the highest likelihood is that. But 2, I do think is Paige right now. I think with how Paige is playing, really feels like she has a shot at winning this, come the end of the season. And I got to keep Slim on there. That's the lace that I'm going to keep on there. I think there needs to be lace representation in the top 3. I just think that it's Slim for me and then Jackie, but I can understand flipping it and being Jackie and Slim up there. But we didn't give love to Jackie in week 1. And this is why I want to get the temperature check, because we're going to see players pop and then they're going to be worth
It could just be who our MVPs of the weekend are.
Okay. Yeah.
It's this.
I get it.
Maybe I would flip then.
Then Paige was the MVP of the weekend.
I guess so. She won the free throw challenge.
Yeah, that's you got to give credit to the free throw challenge, the biggest part of the game.
Yeah.
Wow.
When a free throw is worth more.
Yeah.
When one free throw is worth more than usual, it's important.
I agree. Mm-hmm. Anything else then before we send this one off?
I have a random note of a different player, not in Unrivaled.
Okay.
Of Angel Reese.
Oh.
She's just having like the time of her life, it seems. She is announcing all these actress roles.
Oh, she's in GOAT, right?
She's going to be in GOAT, Steph Curry's movie with
About
Asia.
Yes.
Voice acting in that.
Uh-huh.
She announced today that she is going to be in The Hunting Wives season 2, which we didn't watch. I've heard various things about it. But okay.
All right.
She's going to be in a TV show.
Cool. Good for Angel.
That's it.
No, I'm glad Angel's doing something.
We have 2 remaining undefeated college teams.
Yes, to bring it back to the bingo board.
Top college teams. UConn and Vanderbilt.
I'm praying on you, UConn.
Yeah. Vanderbilt has a real tough schedule, but UConn, it seems like they can pull it out.
UConn just has Tennessee as their only other ranked matchup. So fingers crossed. Vanderbilt, I think, has like 9 more ranked games to close out the season, which is crazy. So I'm not expecting anything there, especially games against South Carolina and Texas. So teams that are higher ranked than them. So we're keeping our fingers crossed.
Yeah, we're keeping our eye on that. We will have a show as the season's wrapping up before March Madness.
Yes.
Going over our March Madness predictions with Dat. So look forward to that.
Just look forward to that. That's what's coming down the pipe. Again, we will talk to you after we're back from Miami. If you'd like to send us an email, you could do so at our email, attackthebaseline@gmail.com. Leave us a 5-star rating and review on whatever platform it is that you listen to the show. Connect with us on Bluesky, Instagram, TikTok at ATBPod. Tell your friends and family about the show. And yeah, if you're going to be down there in Miami, let us know. Give us a holler. We would love to say hi and, give you a high five or something. But anyway, thank you all for listening to the show. Kristen, I'm staring at the baseline. As always, what are we going to do?
Attack it.
Attack the baseline. Thank you so much for listening, and we will talk to you very soon after we're soaking up the sun.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.